Communicating with our partners can be incredibly challenging. It takes a lot of growth and maturity for us to navigate tricky conversations with connection, with love, with clarity, and to be productive. This is Ashley with Up-Level Love and a little bit of Wincy Wisdom. And today I want to give you some tips about how to be in conversation with your partner in a way that is really going to up-level your ability to connect. So first and foremost, just know that almost everybody in conversations around tricky subjects feels a bit of trigger, feels defensiveness. We usually go into like kind of three camps. We either want to defend ourselves and get in that kind of trigger. We want to run away and not deal with it. Or we get into this freeze response and like just feel really disempowered and unclear about what to do. So if you recognize any of those patterns within yourself, know that they're very common. Okay, so whatever your go-to is in a conversation, what normally happens when we get triggered is that you're kind of doing this battle. You're going back and forth, and there's blame that comes in, and it can get heated and to whatever level. And when that happens, both partners shut down their ability to be able to hear and receive. And usually that can escalate into like a fight. So one of the best tips I give to my couples is what's called a time in. Not a time out, but a time in. Timeouts can often feel like we're being punished, like we're kids. And this is different. It's still similar in that you take space from each other. You take some time, moments apart. And whether that is just walking a few feet away and breathing and going through your process, whether that's going into different rooms, whether it's, going outside or going for a drive or taking, a longer space from each other, it doesn't matter. But time in means that you are taking time to look within, to reflect within yourself, to process the emotions that are coming up, because that is your responsibility, not your partner's. Usually when we have these triggers come up, it's not just from the actual current situation that's taking place. Usually it's like bringing the past in. Usually it's those child parts of ourselves that are like not fully integrated and we're feeling hurt, or all these layers that we felt in the past. So taking a time in gives you like the self-responsibility to do your own process, to process what's there for you, and to recognize that and have the awareness of it, and then to come into a calmer state where you can really see a wider vision of what's happening, and you can respond rather than react. So I highly recommend when you do a time in that you take time to like feel what's coming up, to feel the anger or the frustration or the disappointment or whatever's coming up, that you feel that, you recognize those inner child parts of yourself, the one that wants to have a fit or that thinks it's not fair or whatever the things are, that you kind of come in, you process that within yourself through whatever practices work for you, and then you kind of drop deeper into your heart, opening up that space, that electromagnetic field around you, so that you can come into better balance and centeredness, and that you can respond from a place of loving connection rather than a place of wanting to totally take your partner down. So this is the work that you need to do in a timeout. So you come into that place, you open it up, you see if you can widen your mind and your perspective to be able to also notice perhaps what your partner is feeling and experiencing, what is really going on here in the whole big scheme of your life, and how you can come back into having conversation with them in a way that is going to be more loving, connected, and productive. So what happens is that when you are in this heated conversation and one of you goes, ooh, we need to time in, if one of you calls it, the other one respects that. And you have a conversation about this process when you're not in a fight. You have a conversation about this going, okay, I'd like to give this a try. I'd like us to, see how this feels and works. You explain the process, whatever, you both can watch this video, whatever works, but you communicate about this process so that when you're in an argument or a heated conversation that one of you goes, ooh, I'd really like a time in, you call it for yourself, the other one honors that and respects it, and you take space and time. And however long you need is really up to you, but do not weaponize this. Do not use this to continue to hurt your partner, you know? This is really space for yourself to do that process and then to come back. And so one of you will say, okay, I'm ready to come back and to have a conversation. Are you ready? So you ask your partner if they're ready, you invite them in, you don't demand them. And if they are ready, great, you come together and you do it. If they're not ready and they need more time and space, you honor that, okay? And you ask them to come to you when they are ready. When you're both ready to return to the conversation, I recommend that you set an intention. You say, okay, I'm ready, I'm here, and it is my intention to have connection in this conversation, to have clarity, to have understanding, like whatever your intention is. And then you also state what you're going to do to create that. So this is a piece of self-accountability, and you both do this. You say, okay, it's my intention here is to have clarity and connection, and I'm going to show up in a way where I'm going to listen fully, and I'm going to receive what you're saying to the best of my ability, and I'm going to really feel in compassionately with what's happening here. So something like that, okay, just as an example. You both do that. You both state an intention and you both state what you're going to do. And then from there, you connect and you have the conversation. Another add-on to this is that you use I language. I was feeling this when this happened. You don't go into when you did this and you did that. You know, it's like this is what I'm experiencing when this happens. This is what I'm really desiring to have change or to be experiencing. So that you speak from that place and that you make requests of your partner, not demands. And then you also check in with yourself and you like, what requests can you make of yourself in this dynamic? Okay, it takes two people to shift a dynamic, not just one. Okay, we like to place all the blame on our partners, but it really is a learning process for both of you. All right, I hope this was helpful. I hope you explore this. I hope you find it really useful in being able to navigate and up-level love and intimacy in your life in all the best ways. I look forward to sharing more. Please like or comment here. Love to receive that, and head over to my YouTube at Up-Level Love. Would love to have you subscribe there as well. I look forward to sharing more. Aloha for now.